Alright, we're going to be testing the new Airbox mod on the DRZ4SM. I'll have a link in the description to the video for the install. But let's go ahead and test her out and see if I can tell a difference. Alright, off the bat, it's definitely throatier. It's got way more sound to it. I like that. Power seems about the same. But that little bit of sound really helps, just so you can tell where you're at in the rev range, because this bike is so quiet from the factory. Thing handles like a dream, and it's just so smooth compared to all the other supermotos that I've ridden. It's super flickable too. Maybe a little bit of more grunt down low. Or it could be just from the sound, makes it feel like it's got a little bit more to it. I think that's a lot of it, but it does make it way more fun. Being able to hear your bike is huge. All right. Back to open road. Yeah, the bike sounds way more powerful with the snorkel removed. I think once they come out with the ECU flash and stuff, we'll actually do some inserts in the Airbox too, to give it a little bit more air, because it is still really restrictive for a 400cc bike. So I think a little bit more Airbox mods to get it a little bit more air will really help. But definitely want to wait till we get it tuned, or the ECU flashed, just so we're not running the bike lean. And that's why we'll probably put the snorkel back in once we get the exhaust, up until the point we get the ECU flashed, because we don't want to run the bike extremely lean. Because it being fuel injected, it can compensate some, but not enough for Airbox and the exhaust, because the exhaust is really restrictive from the factory, so it'll really be opening it up with the full Yoshi exhaust. It'll sound really good with the exhaust, I think. I think it makes it a little bit safer too, just for other people to hear you. But nah, I'm loving the bike so far. It's just so smooth. Even like the just the abrupt throttle response is still fairly smooth compared to the 450. It'll kick you so hard that it's like knocks you off the bike. You like really got to hang on. Which also, you know, the kick and stuff, it's being super twitchy really makes it undesirable for commuting, where this one's super smooth, makes it like the perfect commuter bike. One thing I haven't talked about yet is the throttle. So the throttle tube, there's a lot of twist to it. So I think, me personally, I would want a shorter throttle tube or a shorter throw. That would be a fairly good mod, because it is, you have to twist it so far to get to go to full throttle. But for newer riders and stuff, that's you know, more what you want. This is the best turn on the tail, gravity cavity. Now, in terms of riding bikes through the tail in remotely, or you know, fairly stock form, I'd have to say this is probably my favorite bike. Just because it's got a good amount of power to throw you around in these curvy roads, but it's still smooth and comfortable. You know, stock form like the DRZ4SM, the seat that bike came with was like a 2x4, and my butt would already be hurting. Now granted, I am wearing Moto Skivis, and I think that's a great investment for anybody looking to do some more serious motorcycle riding, longer, you know, longer distance stuff, or hour-plus long rides. I'll link in the description. I'll add a link in the description to the underwear. It's like a padded underwear, but it makes it so your butt doesn't cramp up as fast. And on full day rides, it makes it night and day better. Way more fun and enjoyable. But I don't even think you really need an aftermarket comfort seat if you have Moto Skivis on. We rode most of the day yesterday, and my butt really didn't get sore. Yeah, I think the bike has a little bit more down low power with the Airbox mod. It seems like it's more than my imagination with the sound. I think it does have a little bit more oomph to it. But the Airbox from the factory is so restrictive because the ECU still sits on top of it, but the snorkel part kind of extended out, so your gap of where air can get sucked through, you know, was really short. So with the snorkel gone, you know, it gives you probably double the space for where air can get sucked into the Airbox. But when we do the extra airbox mods, we'll do it on the side that has the airbox lid. That way, when you're cleaning the other air filter, you know, it's all fluid, and you can clean those filters a little bit easier than having to take off both side panels to gain access to it. But nah, the bike feels great. I'd say in terms of tires, the Dunlops are really good, but I prefer the Conti Attack SM Evos. Those are just seem to be a better supermoto tire if you're looking to do this aggressive, you know, twisty road kind of adventures. But I would say the Dunlops are going to have way better longevity in terms of miles you're going to get out of the tire, because the Contis you probably only get probably 1,500 miles is the most you'll get out of a rear Conti, where this one will probably get 2,000, 2,500, or maybe even more. We still haven't adjusted the suspension, but the suspension off the factory floor feels really good. But yeah, there's my test ride of the DRZ4SM with the Airbox mod. It definitely gives you way more sound, so I give that a thumbs up. The power, I still can't really fully tell. I mean, maybe the slightest amount, but I think it's definitely worth doing